Hello everybody, this is MKRM, but you can call me MK, and today I decided maybe I should just start a small series where I just talk about my thoughts, my opinions, life experiences, or even current events while playing video games, like live commentary. This video was supposed to be live commentary, but my mic obviously stopped working, so just amazing. So anyway, you will have some Counter-Strike deathmatch gameplay in the background to hopefully help your ADHD brain pay attention to this video and the thoughts that I'm saying. So recently I've been thinking about the fact that everyone has their own vices or bad habits that keep them sane, in this world filled with issues. I guess that's not the good way to say it, but basically, we all do things like playing video games, binge watch Netflix shows, or drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, or whatever. And everyone has some sort of behavior or act that is, what the fuck am I saying? So I guess like the basic definition of vices in this context could be, just bad habits, right? But I guess we could also like categorize them, and one type are like activities that are a huge time sink, like playing video games or watching TV shows, and another kind could be things that are a massive health risk, like taking drugs, drinking alcohol, and vaping. And in the surface level, it can seem like these activities are bad, right? And obviously that makes sense, because like if you smoke, you can get lung cancer. Your chances of getting lung cancer is a lot higher. If you just sit down and play video games, you're like, I don't know, you're not exercising, right? So you're probably, the risk of heart disease is high or something like that. But despite of all these negative things associated with these activities, why do we still do them? And I think we do this because at the end of the day, we just want to feel good. Our monkey brain just wants to feel good. We want to run away from our responsibilities. We want to forget about all the bad things that have happened to us, for whatever the reason may be. I don't think it's wrong to just assume that we want to be happy, we want to feel good, even if that could cost our health in the long term. Even if that means I'm not going to spend time doing lead code so I can get a job or whatever. I'm not necessarily talking about addictions like drug addiction, alcohol addiction, or gaming addiction, but you could also argue that, I guess in a way, all of us are high functioning addicts, because things like video games, things like binge watching shows, they're things that take a lot of our time, and we could spend a lot of time, or spend that time rather, doing more productive things, but we don't, because doing productive things is boring, right? Idealistically, as humans, we want to be optimizing our lives. We want to be spending our time doing productive things to advance our careers, to get good grades, or to improve our health or something like that. But we're not machines, right? We crave the dopamine, we crave being happy, and all, not to mention the fact that we would rather get short-term pleasures, or just think about the short term in general, than think about how our actions now will help us in the future. So what originally got me thinking about this topic, is like certain experiences that I've had. For example, you might have family members that criticize you for sitting down and playing sorry for sitting down and playing video games for hours, and they themselves sit down and watch TV for hours, or stay up late to watch their favorite football team play a match or something like that. And what always confused me was the fact that, why is it a problem when I do it, but it isn't a problem when you do it? And I guess it's the fact that it's easy to see the flaws of others and criticize them instead of seeing the problems that you have. Maybe that's one thing, but humans in general, we're so quick to criticize. they could also be, telling you to stop that habit, out of love, because they don't want you to waste your time or, have your health degrade. And, I do understand that point to some extent, but me personally, I'm trying my best not to comment on others' habits. In a way, it's a waste of time because there's a high chance that they know, what they're doing is bad for them. I feel like everyone knows, like there's probably no one who smokes that has never heard someone say that it's bad for you. Like, it just doesn't make any sense, you know what I mean? And it, I guess if it makes them happy and they're not overdoing it, it's fine. But where do we draw the line? I feel like one could also argue that people obviously used to, do things to waste the free time that they have back in the day, but they would argue that the things they used to do were a lot better for them, like sports, playing chess, or, wrestling, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? It could be anything. But I feel like it's also like things like, watching TV, playing video games, doom scrolling on TikTok. I feel like that's a symptom of our current society, which is, the rapid development of technology. And also, I guess, in a way, it is also a symptom of societal decay. I mean, if you look at like the current economic status of this world, I guess I could use the United States as an example because that's where I am currently. We might be making a lot more money than baby boomers did at the same age that we are currently. Our purchasing power is significantly lower because the cost of everything else is higher, right? So this means it's, hard for people of my generation to own homes, or, probably do car payments, and also, they can't afford to raise a child, right? So it feels like everything that we're doing is hopeless, like, and useless. Like, we will never own anything. Like, same thing with video games, everything is digital, and we know for a fact that at some point our rights to our stuff will also go away. But I guess that's kind of out of topic, and maybe something we could talk about in another video. So basically, the economic state of the world has brought a lot of nihilism. You've probably heard of things like antinatalism and quiet quitting. Birth rates are dropping across the board, mostly in Eastern Asian countries, but it's also being seen in the United States now. And when we feel bad, when we feel sad, what do we want? We want to feel good. I want the dopamine. And that's why we engage in these behaviors, if you like it or not. Honestly, even I don't know where I'm trying to get at with this video, but I guess the important thing is that all of us do things for a reason, right? And we're all going through something, so it's important not to, judge others and point out the bad habits of others, unless obviously it affects others. The habit that they're doing starts affecting others negatively, then go ahead and, tell them. We also need to be mindful of why we're engaging in such activities. That might help find the root cause, especially if you're doing it excessively. It could be, mental health issues and whatnot, and if it's affecting your life, then you should definitely reach out. I could ramble on and repeat my talking points, but I think it's a good thing to end it here. And if you've stuck around till here, then thank you so much for listening to my random yapping about, vices that we all have. And before I, sign off, I do want to say a couple of things. And the first thing is the fact that you matter, okay? No matter how you feel, you matter, and you don't need a reason to exist in this world. Nobody does, let's be honest. And, take care of yourself. If you have any thoughts, remarks, or anything, you want to rebuttal my talking points, go ahead and put that in the comments. If you have any, suggestions for topics that I could talk about, in another video, please leave that down in the comments as well. Well, that's if anyone is watching the video. But before I sign off, I have a word from my friend.